In this episode, we are going to be speaking about my top 10 myths. However, I say a top 10, I'm probably going to throw a couple of curveballs in there just to add. And by the way, if you have any myths that you've heard about the spirit world and you want an answer to it, whether it's true or false, let me know in the comment section and we'll be sure to try to do a follow-up video. Or if we've got a few people that have got different myths, we'll do a big collection of all of them put together. If you're new here, my name is Psychic Medium Jordan Coburn and I can prove with evidence of the afterlife. I've helped thousands of people on this earth plane to once again be able to contact their loved ones in spirit through the understandings and the teachings on this platform, and now it's your turn. Each and every one of you can become great mediums, and here at Help Heal Serve, we can give you the foundations, the building blocks that you so need and desire to help you along your divine spiritual path. Not to mention, we also have the Help Heal Serve loving and supporting family. Let's get into this isn't going to be a surprise to a lot of you, but on my top of the list, number one is only special or gifted people can become mediums. I've heard notions and theories from mankind that you've got to have gifts from birth. Now, first of all, let's just address something straight out of the gate. Not one of you, when it comes to mediumship, are gifted. None of you. And if you are somebody who at this moment in time is getting extremely triggered by what I've just said there, you need to address your ego. And whilst you might not like me saying that, that's because I'm telling you to address something. You have to understand as a medium that each and every person on this earth plane has a fair crack of the whip. There isn't anyone special. There isn't anyone anointed. The spirit world will work with each and every one of you. And they do work with each and every one of you, fun fact. Some of you may not know it yet, but you will find out if it's in your path and if it is, going to help you in any way, shape or form. But behind the scenes, the spirit worlds do a lot of things to assist each and every one of you. The notion that you have to be gifted, we've addressed, it comes from people's ego. People like to suppress others. For example, let's give you a hypothetical scenario here. I come onto this platform and I prove with evidence of the afterlife. Do it for fun. It's literally, that's just who I am. I could come onto this platform and say, well, the reason why I do this is because I'm gifted. Immediately from the very, very beginning, the initial stages of your development, you look at somebody likes of me and you think, well, actually, Jordan says he's gifted, so that means I can't do what he does. That's what we are here to put right. Mankind have made not just a mockery of mediumship, but they have introduced these dilutions into the majestical process, which is mediumship, and we need to put it right. But to put it right, we need to start at the very core foundations. Each and every human being on this planet can and will, with effort, time and dedication, become mediums. You can all connect to the spirit world. The word gift infuriates me, if I'm completely honest with you, because there's a lot of people who want to contact their loved ones in spirit. There are a lot of people, and I get it all of the time, people saying, oh, you're a scammer, you're a charlatan, you're all these different things. Listen, keep your little opinions to yourself. Stay in your own lane. Because this channel doesn't mess around, okay? I don't come onto here and ask you to voice your opinions. I don't care about your opinions. If you're part of the Help Heal Serve family and you've got a relevant question, then put it in the comment section. I'm all for it. I'm all for helping people. But if you're coming on here telling me to pray and pray to Jesus and all of these different things, listen, keep your ignorance off my platform, because I will just remove you. I don't need to mess around keeping people on that don't serve me or my family. Reason why I said that is because there's a lot of people who get very irate with some of the things that I say. And there's probably going to be potentially a few of you who watch this video and there's going to be some of the points that I bring to your attention and you might not like what I say. The problem is I spit facts. I speak truths. I don't care about upsetting people. I don't care about what people's opinions or thoughts on me. I don't need to care. I work with the energy, and I can prove that. But when we are coming to gifts, the problem is with the terminology gift. The word gift implies that you can do something that I can't, or I can do something that you can't. Now, that's not completely correct, is it? Because each and every one of you are human beings. In what one human being can do, each and every other human being can do. Granted, you're going to have people who have ailments, you're going to have medical conditions where that scenario might not apply in its full context, but overall, you can see what I'm trying to portray here. You can see the message that there are a lot of people on these platforms that really, really grate on me, and I'll tell you the reason why. They sell you this dream. They sell you the dream of mediumship, that if you come onto one of their courses, they're going to not just make you a medium. If you pay the extra chakra aligning class and you come on to this class, you'll be going to come a better medium. Yeah, you're all thinking that's great. People are throwing their money at these individuals who, if anyone has a good understanding and you look at them, you can tell from the very initial get-go that they are scamming individuals. Sadly, no one speaks about this because the society to which we live in, unfortunately, is kind of, I would say naive, but what I'm going to say is I'm going to say misled. Okay, because whilst there's going to be a lot of people who are naive, there's also going to be a lot of people who believe that this is the way that this is the way that mediumship should be. So when we are speaking about gifted and these individuals who sell these courses and they will promise you the world and they'll do all of these different things, they plant that initial seed in your head that you have to be gifted. You have to be different to every other person. No. Yes, you should be unique, but you shouldn't be gifted. Because what you can do, every other person can do. And you need to tell yourself that from the very beginning of your development. Why wouldn't you want to tell yourself that? Why wouldn't you want to put yourself in every other person's category? I'll tell you the reason why. Because if you are somebody who believes you are better than every other person on this earth, now I don't mean in the terms of where you're aiming for. Yes, aim high, get where you need to be. But in the process of doing that, you don't need to suppress other people. You don't need to mislead other people. And this is only about the word gifted. Can you see how passionate I get? Can you see how frustrated I get with some of the ideologies I'm up against? When I say I'm up against, please understand me when I say this. Mankind's notions and theories don't bother me whatsoever. You all know I don't read books. You all know I don't need any of mankind to help me to do what I do. I'm effectively a lone wolf, along with the spirit world, and we spread our message, we spread our truths, we spread and we change the dynamic of how all of this is going to work. You'll see in years to come, you know, you've probably been, some of you might have been here from the very, very beginning days of Help Heal Serve, and you'll see how this message, we don't mess around. We do not mess around, and you'll see how in years to come, as this message grows, we'll have a lot more people coming on the platform, and you'll also see a lot more people connecting to their loved ones. Why is that? Is it because I'm special and I'm gifted? No. I'm breaking down the barriers of man, the paywalls that you've all been kept behind, and I'm giving each and every one of you the tools to be able to do this. So please, if you are somebody who has heard or used the word gifted and you are wanting to become a medium, slash that clean out of your notion. Get rid of that out of your database, your word bank. That will never ever serve you, because immediately from the first instance, we are putting ourselves higher than other human beings. Trust us when I say this, the spirit world, the realms want to work with each and every one of you, and they do work with each and every one of you. None of you are special when it comes to spirit. Whilst you are going to have special connections, and whilst you are going to form special relationships, you as a person are just a human being. And you need to remember when I say this, I know I sound really horrible, and I don't want to come across as being horrible, but I need it to sink in. You are just. You are just. Remember those words. This is what is going to set you apart from every other egotistical driven person, because by realizing that you are the same as every other person on this earth plane, you can deliver that clarity, direction, and purpose that you so need and desire when you are in your mediumship. You'll all thank us. In years to come, you'll all thank us. When you start practicing mediums, when you start starting to do, you'll be like, do you know what it is? I'm so glad that I listened to Jordan, because whilst I know a lot of you have heard of manifestation and all of these different things, listen, these ideologies, these dilutions, these delusions that you are going to manifest something other than putting hard work, effort and intent in is a cop-out. Okay, I know there's a lot of you who might not like me to say that, but if you are somebody who is watching this video now, you've been led to me for a reason. There is a reason why you are watching this video now. Something is going wrong in your development. And what you've got to understand is there can be many different things that go wrong in the development, and it's going to come down to many different factors, but we need to keep it basic, we need to keep it simple, and we need to keep it down to the point. Get rid of the word gifted. Get rid of the word special, people. You don't need to be special. You are just. Remember that. You are just. Coming back to the manifestation, a lot of you will want to manifest a brighter future. You'll want to manifest your dreams to come true. You want to manifest this connection to the spirit world. You want to manifest, because that is the answer that you have been given. That is the easy solution to the problem that you have. What you fail to acknowledge is in this world of vibrations in the sensory realm, you get what you put into it. You put hard work in, you're going to get the just rewards. If you sit there thinking about something, then guess what, my friend? You are going to be thinking until the cows come home. That's not how we get things done. I've got to go to work this week to pay my bills. If I just sit here and manifest it, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Of course I'm bloody well not. But these individuals who tell you the words gifted, that you're special and all of these different things, that you are falling into their trap. You are effectively like a horse being led to water. They are just giving you all of these big words. They're giving you all these ideologies that will never serve you. And that's what I'm passionate about, because there are so many people on so many different platforms who basically do this to each and every one of you. And unfortunately for yourself, you will never be the organic individual that you need to be to fulfill your greatest potential on this earth plane if you are following some of these ludicrous notions. Spirit are laughing. Yes, that was animated. Yes, I hope you can see it's genuine. And yes, I bloody well despise it. And when I have my way, the word gift in mediumship will be eradicated off the face of this earth. Each and every one of you need to know that you are all human beings. You all have the same genetic build-up. Yes, you have males and females, before anyone gets in the comments. But you are all very, very similar and alike in the way that you are built. We are all a human being species. You know, I know I've probably just blew most of your brains out there. But the thing is you've got to remember that we are all the same. What I can do, you can do. What you can do, I can do. All comes down to the understanding. So please, if there are any one of you out there now who haven't got too offended, and you haven't already thrown your phone out of the window, please understand, I mean you no offense. I want what is best for you. It's about time somebody done what is right for you, give you the understandings that you need so you can contact your loved ones, so you can become a medium, so you can become a psychic. But these idiots who are telling you that you need to be gifted, you need to be anointed, you need to be chosen, you need to be special, you need to have a chakra alignment, you need to have a sound bath, you need to have chakra clouds, you need to have a special beard, you need to have this special water, you need to have these special potions, lotion, motion. Oh. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I work with the spirit world in the realms, right? And so that's crazy. But I think that's even crazier. So that shows you how crazy it actually is. If you do enjoy this content, remember to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so, and remember you can now become a channel member if you wish. To all of the channel members out there, I'd like to say a massive thank you for supporting the message of help heal serve. Also, I am got something lined up for channel members. I'm not going to announce what it is yet, but we are going to be doing something very exciting. It will be once a month, maybe even twice a month. But again, I'm not officially announcing it out there. I've got something lined up. I've got something in the back of my mind. I can't officially do it just yet because I've got a lot of things going on in my world, but there is going to be forms of classes, circles and stuff like that. So, you know, you don't have to, but thank you to everyone who does support the channel. Unfortunately, I'm going through a little bit of a job move myself at this moment in time. So, which brings up another valid point, actually. This, in fact, I'm going to put it on here because I want to say I'm going through quite a big, massive life change, actually. So there might be some changes on the channel. I mean, I'm going to try and keep to my schedules. I'm going to try and keep to my schedules. And now that I do the one video a week, I should be easy to maintain it, to be completely honest with each and every one of you. I mean, I love coming on and speaking to you. Like, literally, I love coming on and talking to you. I love having my little family, and I just love everything about the message of Help Heal Serve. I love how it's grown. I love how each and every one of you have supported us. It's great. But yes, I am now kind of effectively going to be unemployed in the next month. Not bothered. Spirit told us this was going to be happening. Spirit told us that there was going to be a change coming. Spirit also made us aware of what this change was. But I think, like anything, you know, you put it in the back of your mind and you hope it's wrong. You hope that you can just kind of sail through life on your own little vessel, sailing the waves and doing all the things. The problem is that's not the reality of the world that we live in. Yeah. And the reason why I'm saying this is to each and every one of you. We can't look at things in a negative light. We can't look at sometimes we don't get what we want. Now, again, coming back to Spirit already telling me, you might say, well, actually, John, that's not fair. Why did I tell you things? Because there is a big change. There's big things coming for me, especially with doing the things that I do. There is a lot that we have in store, and there is a lot that we need to be able to pursue. I tell each and every one of you on this channel, this isn't a game to me. I know a lot of you has probably come on just to see what the crazy Geordie in Newcastle says and see what I've got planned. But believe me when I say this, the message of Help Heal Serve is going to blow each and every one of your minds. This is a universal message where each and every person on this planet can contact their loved ones in spirit. So why wouldn't it? So obviously I'm going to be going through some big changes there. And what I wanted to take from it is for each and every one of you to remember that when times feels tough to each and every one of you, just self-reflect. Go in on yourself and think about, well, actually, whilst you might not know what's coming, embrace it. As one door closes, another door is sure to open. It's the way that life works. And I noticed from myself, and I was quite happy with the way, you know, I had a little bit of a heads up from Spirit that it was going to happen, and I get that, right? Because so it's kind of a cheat for me, kind of a cheat. But the thing is what each and every one of you got to remember is it's never the end. It's never the end. It's only but the beginning. So yeah, I thought I would just drop that in there. So just, yes, the channel members, we are going to be doing some different things. I might even start doing the one-to-one tutoring on the channel, to be honest with you. If I manage to find the time to be able to allocate to it, we might start doing the tutoring. If we do go back to doing the tutoring, there'll only be 12 people on a class. That being said, the one-to-one mentorships are a little bit different, and well, they're very different actually. The one-to-one mentorships, it's not like how you're getting now, you know. So the next thing I'm going to come and do anyway, that was just a little bit of an insight to each and every one of you. So if you're wanting to become a medium and you're wanting to kind of have a little bit of an understanding of what the spirit world can do, in this scenario for me, I knew last year what was coming my way. I already knew what was about to take place. Whilst I didn't want to believe it, I was already told and made aware of it. This is something that each and every one of you can do. I can give you all of the tools to be able to do this. The spirit world can help you, guide you, and assist you. Next, myth 2. Mediums can connect to the spirit world anytime, any place. This is very true. And I know it's a myth that you can't, because honestly, like seriously, like there's people out there, genuinely, there's people out there who believe that there are trapped souls. There are people out there who believe that the spirit worlds take a specific amount of time to transition from the materialistic into the energy. And the problem is what I would say to each and every one of them people who believe that it takes such a set amount of time for the spirit worlds to get over into the energy realm is, how is it I can contact spirits immediately after your passing? Debunk that one. Exactly. Blowing your theory out the water. Goodbye. That doesn't serve you. The next thing that we're going to mention is anytime, any place. Of course you can. That is the full point of connecting to the spirit world. You can connect to the spirit world at any time, any place, given you have the correct understandings. The understandings which are going to allow you to be able to become the vessel for the spirit world. Remember, each and every one of you can do it. Each and every one of you can become a psychic medium. Therefore, you can gain information in any given moment. There are people who believe that you take ailments from this life into the spirit world. There's a few little flaws to that. There are some, acclaimed mediums who believe that when you leave the physical and you enter into the energy, you take your earthly ailments with you. I'm sorry. What on earth is going on there? Like, seriously, no, you don't. If you are poorly on this earth plane, that is because your vessel that you accommodate as you go along your divine spiritual path has unfortunately succumbed to illness. As you go along your divine spiritual path, your body will deteriorate and then you will cease to exist. When you cease to exist, the energy part of you goes back to energy, not the body. The body is the physical part of you. At what point do people think that illnesses transfer into energy? How would that even work? Ailments are within the materialistic body. They're not in energy. And again, you know what? I'm getting very animated and passionate with some of these myths, but these are things that people genuinely believe. These are people have been suckered and people have been ushered into these through not having an understanding. And the fallen victim to mankind's skullduggery. You know, unfortunately, like a rabbit in the headlights of a car, you just don't know what to believe. And people have started believing this, that you can't connect to the spirit world. I know that there is practicing mediums, and there's also people who are taking payments for doing mediums, doing readings, and they say that the spirit world aren't there today. Your loved one, for example, let's just think of how funny this sounds, right? Let's think of this. You are now a paying customer. You've come to me because I can offer you my mediumship services. You've probably done your research and you've seen that I can do it. Maybe as you've looked on TikTok or Facebook, whatever. There's many different ways to do it. So you come to me for a reading and you're all looking forward to it because once again, you're going to contact your loved one. And you sit down in front of me and I go, oh, unfortunately, Roger can't come to the phone now. He can't come to the phone. Yeah, it seems that Roger's still passing over. No, the medium in those moments didn't have a bloody clue what they were doing. And that's the sort of people that you need to be very wary, very cautious of. Because these individuals who practice like that have no shame. They will happily take your money each and every day of the week because they have a get-out clause. They can just blame the energy. But to those of us who are a little bit more savvy with how this works and understand how the spirit world works, we know that they're the problem. And this is why we are raising it as a point for each and every one of you to hopefully, if you hear of this happening, if this happens to you, then you should openly speak about it. Now, a lot of you will say, well, that's not a very spiritual thing to do. Listen, we're not about spirituality. We're not about that at all. This is about your journey. This is about you getting to where you need to be. And if there are people in your way and who are holding each and every one of you back, these individuals need to be highlighted. Now, I'm not saying come on my platform because I'm not interested in it, but you need to speak out. If these people are taking your money, they're scamming you, they're doing all of these different things, you are becoming part of the problem for not speaking your truth. So remember, to each and every one of you, the spirit world can communicate with you each and every second, every moment of every day. And 99.9% of the times, they will be doing that. They will be trying to get you signs, symbols. We've got many of different videos on this channel for that. The next myth that we're going to come to, mediumship is dangerous and it invites negative entities. Well, that's actually pretty easy and to debunk. And I'll tell you the reason why. First of all, mediumship's dangerous. Well, mediumship's not dangerous. You're dangerous. Through your own lack of understanding and ignorance, if you come into mediumship with no understanding, it's going to become very scary for you. Hence where the danger may seep in. But then what you've got to understand is the inviting negative entities. That again comes from your own ignorance, because there's no such thing as negative entities. There's no such thing as evil spirits. Let's just explain to you the reason why. If you're somebody who's new and you've just stumbled across this channel, let's explain to you why there can't be evil in the spirit world or the energy realms for that matter. On the contrary to what you may have heard, read, seen, or watched from Hollywood's teachings, because that's exactly what it is. Hollywood entertain you. It's entertainment. If it doesn't entertain you, you're going to switch off. Therefore, Hollywood need to make things scary to keep you on the edge of your seat. But that's not a true reflection of what the spirit world actually is. So what would a negative energy be? So each and every one of you think now, in the world that we live, the materialistic world, we have good, we have good forces, we have bad forces, we have the yin and the yang, the ching and the chong, the up and the down, the left and the right, and that's the way that our world works, isn't it? So I think you can all agree, when we speak about there being spirits and we speak about there being negative spirits, the negative spirits are going to be the evil spirits, aren't they? They're going to be like that. Wrong. Because again, you are thinking about the materialistic world to which you live and reside. The spirit world is nothing like the materialistic plane at all. Why do you think we come from spirit to embark on this journey in this vessel on this land? Very, very simple. Because it's very, very different. Now, take a second and think about everything that I've just said there. Whether you believe us, whether you're with us or not, just stick around till the end of this part, right? So we've now understood that the good and the bad, all of this ideology, terminology, it comes from mankind, yeah, living in the materialistic. Now, what is it that would make a human being evil? What is it that would make a human being evil? What gives a human being the right to free will? Well, I'm going to give you the answer to that one. It's the brain. The brain is what gives each and every one of you the ability to watch this video, to smash the like button, because I hope you've smashed it. The brain is what gives each and every one of you the right to free will as you traverse through your journey of life. That being said, when the human part of you ceases to exist in the materialistic plane, whereabout does the brain go? First of all, the energy part of you, which is the soul, is going to return back to energy. Remember when I said the energy part of you? What's going to happen to the physical part of you? Is it going to return to energy? Or is it going to die and stay on this planet? It's going to die and stay on this planet. That's why you can have the most horriblest person on this earth. And unfortunately, a lot of the times they will scare people. They will say, well, you know what it is, Gina, when I come back to planet Earth, I'm going to terrorize the living. They don't have that right. They don't have that ability. They can come to planet Earth to have a look at some of the places they once visited. But remember, they don't have any of the ugly humanistic traits of mankind. They don't have the anger, the jealousy, the greed, the hatred, the corruption. All of these things that are a product of your environment conditioned within the brain. You don't have the brain no more. You become part of the intelligence, the oneness, which you'll hear a lot of people talking about. It's the only thing that I agree with that mankind actually have, right? The oneness is a conscious energy that each and every one of you will return to at some point, unfortunately. Right, so myth number 4 is about mediums know everything about the spirit world. Well, I can categorically tell you that mediums will know what they need to know depending on their path. For example, myself and yourself, you may become a medium. Does that mean to say you're going to have the same level of information as me? No. You may become a medium and you may have more information than me, depending on what your path is. For example, if you become a medium and you are just doing mediumship readings, do you think it's worth the spirit world investing time and energy into yourself to bring you up to the standard of an educator, giving you understandings to help people to understand, if that isn't in your path? No, they won't. That's the solid answer to it. They won't waste time unnecessarily. What do you think I say on this channel all the time? We don't have time to waste. So when people tell you that they have all of the answers from the spirit world, it's absolute bogus. You can't have it. And I'll tell you the reason why. It's not because they don't really want to tell you all of the answers. First of all, there's a lot of things that the spirit world will keep from mankind. Because mankind as a species are sick. Mankind as a species like to destroy anything they get their little grubby hands on. And that's part of the problem with it. A lot of you want answers. A lot of you seek answers. A lot of you need answers. But that's on you. That's not on the spirit world. Remember, the spirit world are going to tell each and every one of you what you need to know, not what you want to know. And this is one of the biggest things when we're tackling this topic of it, because there's going to be a lot of you who want to know why the spirit world won't tell you the lottery numbers, why the spirit world will help somebody else to become a tutor in mediumship, and it just seems they're not helping you. Let's think about that for a second. What is it that the other person's doing different to yourself? Are they putting a lot more time and effort in wanting to actually become a teacher? And is it just that you're watching them thinking, oh, well, I'd love to do that, but I've got such a busy life, I can't, I can't commit to that. Are you coming to no, I haven't got the time to do that. I'm so busy, the spirit world will just have to make me a teacher. Well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work like that. It will never work like that. Nothing in life works like that. So when it comes to mediumship, it's going to mirror that. So yeah, the spirit world are going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. And they are very reluctant in some fields of what they will tell you. Same when it comes to the realms. The realms are going to tell you what you need to know, not what you want to know. And whilst a lot of you might be, oh, well, how do you know that they're good? How do you know this? What you've got to remember is that comes down to your own understanding. I can come onto this platform and say whatever I like because this is my channel, and I prove my connection time and time and time and time again. If you want to come to this channel and you don't want to believe some of the things that I say, then you don't have to stay on this channel. Like, seriously, I would actually actively encourage each and every one of you, if you don't like the things that I say on this platform, don't waste your time, because I want what is best for you. If I am not the teacher for you, then stop wasting time and find someone who is going to be the right teacher for you. The next thing that we're going to come to is a medium a psychic? Well, actually, it's actually mediumship is the same as psychic abilities, but I'm going to reword that. Is a medium a psychic? Because that's kind of what it implies. No. This is one of the biggest misconceptions that I've ever heard. And there are actually massive colleges, tutors, schools who charge each and every one of you extortionate amounts of money doing courses telling you that a psychic is a medium. What's all that about? For the same reason, a puppy's not a dog. Yes, they're both cute, but they're completely... sorry, a kitten isn't... I got that wrong, didn't I? Spirit of laughing says, you got that wrong. A kitten is not a dog. Yes, they're both cute, but they're completely different species. Yes, psychics and mediums both use extrasensory perceptions, but they're not the same thing. Ladies and gentlemen, you just need to wake up to this, because unfortunately there are many, many people out there who are having each and every one of you believe that you are a medium, you are a psychic. Well, yes, you can become one with an understanding. But the problem is the majority of people that I see that fall victim to this is they'll go onto public platforms and they start doing, for example, they'll start doing a mediumship reading. And when you're watching the mediumship reading, you're like, that's a psychic reading. Many people who have an understanding can see straight through these individuals, straight through them. But can we blame the individuals who are practicing this, doing the readings? Because if they have been educated and told by mankind, rather than going to the spirit world, they've listened to mankind, which is part of the problem, I may add. If they have been told and educated poorly, well, I'm sorry, like, yes, it annoys us. But I'm not angry at these people who are doing that. I'm angry at the people who are teaching and educating that a psychic is a medium. Just because you use the same extrasensory perceptions. It's like, for example, I'm going to give you all a quick example here, right? If I picked up my phone here now, right? Think of the phone being the human form. If I wanted to work on a psychic level, let's just open the phone there. If I want to work psychically, I'm going to press 222. There we go. If I wanted to work mediumistically, I would press 555. As you can see there, we've just inputted two completely different numbers on the same device. This is the same with the human form. You are a human being, but you have the ability and the functionality to be able to operate on a mediumistic level and on a psychic level using your extrasensory perceptions. Don't get it twisted. Don't think that you are a psychic if you're training to become a medium. You have to train in both of these fields. You've got to know when the information is coming to you psychically or when it's coming to you mediumistically. We can do that. We've got many different videos on this channel on that. There's loads of times you'll see people doing readings, and not to keep going on about it, but you'll see them fishing for information. I think this is telltale signs. If you hear any of these, first of all, it's not a reading because it's got no clarity, direction, purpose. But if you hear any of these words, this person is working psychically, right? Mediumistically, if you are working mediumistically, there's no thinking, there's no ifs, buts, maybes. It's instant. If you're working psychically, you're effectively fishing for information from this person. So you could be cold reading them. You could be watching their facial expressions. You could be watching how their body language reacts to the questions. There's many different ways of working with an individual's psyche. The way that I describe it, and whilst it's not really a good visual representation, is if I was working with you psychically, I would be putting all of my thought and intent to go forward to you. I would then be using my energy to bring back whatever I needed from within your psyche, within your aura. If I was going to work with spirit for yourself and I was going to get information, I wouldn't go forward. I would go up. Even though the spirit world isn't up, it's all around where it's omnipresent like the air that we breathe. It's all around where. But as a visual representation, once again, we're going to go up. We're going to get that information from up above. So, yeah, it's unfortunately, people, I know a lot of you may not believe it, and a lot of you might have been conditioned to believe that a psychic is a medium. The reason why I've got psychic medium in my name is very simple. I work and I can prove evidentially in a psychic capacity and in a mediumistic capacity, I can bring forward evidence or I can give evidence. Right? That's why I've got it in my name. It's not a gimmick. It's not because I think it looks cool. It's not because I've been told that a psychic... A lot of the time when I say that somebody's got psychic medium in their name and I ask, oh, so how are you doing this reading? And they're like, oh, well, I'm just using my psychic abilities. But you're charging someone from a mediumship reading. So what the hell is going on there straight away? But again, it's the world that we're living in. It's a little bit corrupt at the minute. But hopefully we'll be able to put that right. The next thing that we're going to do, mediumship requires seeing or hearing spirits physically. Mediumship requires seeing or hearing spirits physically. What this is referring to is using the ability of clairvoyance and clairaudience. That's incorrect. That's another myth debunked. You don't just have to hear the spirit world or see the spirit world. I know a lot of people who will use claircognizance, which is where you will have visual representations in your mind. The spirit world will cloak an image. They will come forward to you and show you evidence that you need to see to deliver to an individual. So the idea and notion that there is only two ways of communicating with the spirit world is, it's just simply not true. Each and every one of you will be very, very unique. Some of you may use clairvoyance. So for myself, for example, I've seen spirit from the age of 6 years old. So I've seen spirit all my life. For me, I see spirits on a daily basis. And whilst that sounds awesome, you know, it's one of those things where for me, that's just the way that it works. For you, it might be a little bit different. You might hear spirit. I mean, I hear spirit as well. So it's a really bad comparison, if I'm honest with you. But there is going to be a proportion of people who may just see spirit. They may just hear spirit. Or they may just use claircognizance, or they might use all of them, which is what you will do when you start refining all of your different extrasensory perceptions. So yeah, you don't only see the spirit world. Not to mention also on that, you've also got signs, symbols, many different ways that the spirit world can get information to you. So it's not just on sight and sound. there's many different forms and processes in which the spirit world can actually get you through music, for example. Could be your favorite song. Your loved one had a favorite song, and all of a sudden you're thinking about your loved one, and that song comes on. Believe me, there's no coincidences. Like, seriously, if you are somebody who is experiencing this, or you are walking around your home, then all of a sudden you're hearing your loved one and their voice, and you're struggling with it because you're thinking it's your mind. Stop it, because most of the time it isn't your mind, especially at the beginning of your development. This is the intrigue. This is where the spirit world are going to get you. Once I say this all the time, it's like the fishing hook. Once they get you on the intrigue, that's it. They've got you by the grip. They're going to show you even more. You're going to want to see even more. You're going to put the hard work, the effort, the determination, the willpower into getting the best out of your mediumship journey. Sorry, everyone. I'm skinning my throat a little bit there. It's been quite animated on this, to be honest. So the next one we're going to come to is number 7. All spirits are alike. This is a different one, because when spirits return back to energy, we are all alike. This is kind of not a myth, it's a fact. When we leave the physical and we return back into energy, each and every one of we only have the form of identification, which is effectively what you will see is an orb. We have effectively a fingerprint in the spirit world, and that is the orb. However, if you think of the oneness, the energy all around us, think of the ozone layer of planet Earth, if this makes it easier, and think of the ozone layer being the energy ball that surrounds us. Now, when each and every one of us return back to energy, each and every one of you are now probably thinking that there's going to be thousands of little balls all around the planet. Probably thinking it now. Billions. No. If you think of a bubble, if any of you have ever done dishes, or you've ever played with bubbles or anything like that, when you see a large bubble, this is what Spirit showed me. You get a large bubble, yeah. So we've got the large bubble there. I know it's a bit of a bad example. Got the large bubble there. And what you'll see is when you see the large bubble and you see another smaller bubble merge into that bubble, so if we go like that, it kind of just blends into it and it forms into the bigger bubble. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens with spirit. When you return back into energy, you become part of the oneness. So whilst, yes, we all have a form of identity in the spirit world, there isn't just thousands of little orbs sitting around chilling and waiting to come back down. All spirits, in terms of souls, are alike. We do have angelic beings and we have the realms, which are very, very different. But in terms of individual souls that have lived out earthly existences, they are all the same. You don't have physical forms. You don't have any other distinguishing features. Remember, that is part of the body. That is part of the vessel on this planet. When we return back to energy, it's just like a little white ball, and that's it. We're back there. And that is what we refer to as an orb. And for those of you who don't know, you can capture orbs using a mobile phone. You can take photographs. They're great to have fun with. It's great to work with. Not dust, though. Not dust, because I get loads of people saying, I've captured an orb, and it's like, no, it's not. It's dust. I'm sorry. I feel really bad, but it's not dust. Sorry, it's dust. It's not an orb. Mediumship is about, so myth number 8 is going to be mediumship is about proving life after death. 100%. That isn't a myth. That is a pure, utter fact. If you are executing and performing mediumship readings and you are not proven of the afterlife, then you are not doing mediumship. That is the time where you look at your development, you look at where you are at, where you want to get to, and see what we need to put in place for you to be able to get to where you need to be. Because if your focus is just solely on taking money from people and not providing evidence, because let's be completely honest, evidence is what is going to prove of the afterlife, isn't it? It's not just about proving that they're there in terms, it's about healing, delivering healing on this earth plane, the message of help, heal, serve. It's about helping people along their divine spiritual path, helping people to become the best versions of themselves, helping people to understand that their loved ones are in spirit and are wanting to get them information. That's why, coming back to the initial part where people say that the spirit world aren't there today, they're busy, step aside. We'll show you how it's done, because that is not the case. The spirit world are not busy doing other things. The spirit world can't wait to communicate with the loved one. Myth number 9, you must use tools like a Ouija boards to connect. There are many different forms of divination tools to be able to connect with the spirit world. We have pendulums, we have crystals, we have crystal balls. Sorry, not crystal balls is what I meant to say there. It's quite late at night. We have a Ouija boards, we have tarot cards, we have oracle cards, we have pendulums. I don't know if I said that. We have basically, we've got literally loads of different ways of communicating. So a Ouija boards are one of those things where each and every one of you should be very, very wary of using. And I'll tell you the reason why. Not because any harm's going to come to you, but it's for the very same reason. If you get behind the wheel of a sports car with no driving lessons, what do you think's going to happen to you? It's not going to end well for you, is it? Same with an Ouija board. If you have no understanding, don't bloody use them. Why would you be so stupid and use one if you don't have an understanding? It's not because you're going to be put in any harm or any danger, but what you've got to understand is when you start using divination boards, Ouija boards, talking boards, spirit boards, many different words for them. When you start using them, you are going to be working with the realms, with the spirit world. You as a person don't get to choose what energy is going to come through. We've already said you will know what you need to know, not what you want. When you go onto those boards, the majority of the time you will work with the realms. And that's why a lot of you will get very, very scared very, very quick, because the realms are very, very different energy. And if you don't have an understanding, then bigger fool you. You shouldn't have sat down. You shouldn't have done it. And if you are somebody who has done it, then we do have a full video on this channel to help you through what you are going through at this moment in time. Literally, it's all down to the power of your mind and what you are manifesting and what you are projecting into your world. We need to give you some of the safety blocks, safety measures to kind of give you an understanding. So go over to the Ouija board if you are somebody who's struggling with it. I know I come across as being quite cold when it comes to it, but you've got to understand, I use them for fun. I use them all of the time. I've got footage of using them, and they get a lot of stick. They get a lot of stigma. They get a lot of badness said about them. And it's through people's own, egos and wants, needs, and desires to think that they have the right to do whatever they want on this earth plane. Why they get a bad name? So yeah, I think that's enough said on that. Mediumship is evil or against religion? Well, no. I think in all essence, I think anything that is there to suppress you is evil. Mediumship doesn't suppress you. Individuals will suppress you in mediumship if you don't know what you're doing. But can we say that mediumship's evil? Mediumship gives you the ability to overcome grief. Mediumship gives you the ability to know that your loved ones are now at peace. Mediumship gives you the ability to know that your loved ones can still see, hear, and communicate with you. Mediumship can give you clarity, direction, and purpose. Let's look at the flip side. Religion is there to tell you how to live your life. Religion is there to have you live in a certain way, give you a certain ideology to follow. Mediumship doesn't do any of that. I mean, you can be the judge on that, but personally, I don't think that mediumship's bad, evil. I think mediumship in the wrong hands can be bad, can be evil. Not because of mediumship, but because of the individuals who have the unethical practices who want to scam the living. That's evil. That's pure evil. But there's no evil to come from mediumship. It's just your own lack of understanding, your own knowledge gaps that are going to cause issues. So yeah, I mean, we've mentioned a few different things there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I thought it would be quite interesting to do a video on some of the myths that I've heard. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that I've heard. I don't think there is, to be honest. I think I'd wrote them all down and we've went through them there. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this video, remember to smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And consider checking out these videos at the top left and right if you did enjoy this video. Until the next time, bye-bye for now.